So today we're checking out the all-new Tenways AGO X. This is their urban commuter style bike that can pretty much go anywhere. It comes with a mid-drive motor with over 80 Newton meters of torque, 60 miles of range, and 29-inch wheels. So with that being said, we'll see if all these parts can kind of hold up to the test. They say all these parts are high-end parts with their mid-level price point. So without further ado, let's get on the trail and find out. The all-new AGO X is Tenways' latest model to join the lineup that seems to capture what's been missing within the urban commuter style segment. Let's do a brief breakdown of the specs and see what this bike has to offer. Starting with the price, the AGO X retails for $24.99 and comes in Starlight Silver, which I'm riding here today, Ocean Blue, and Midnight Black. It comes in size large for riders between 5'5" and 6'3", and extra large for riders between 6'3" and taller. I'm 6 foot tall and I'm riding size large. The frame is made out of 6061 aluminum alloy. The fork is also made out of aluminum alloy and is the SR Suntour lockout fork with 80 millimeters of travel. Now the overall weight of this bike is 64 pounds with a maximum payload weight of 350 pounds, while the rear rack has a maximum payload weight of 55 pounds. The wheels are 29-inch with CSD puncture-proof tires on 6061 aluminum alloy rims. The handlebars are a nice comfortable flat bar with 4 degrees back sweep, 34 inches wide with an LCD color display, controls, foam grips, Shimano shifters, and hydraulic brakes front and rear. Now with the big wheels and a nice wide bar, the ergonomics of this bike feel absolutely amazing. Now coupling the front suspension with this nice wide plush seat, I don't feel fatigued at all even after 33 miles of riding. Next is the drivetrain. The drivetrain is a 10-speed Shimano Dior system with an integrated torque sensor for the 250-watt Bafang M410 mid-drive motor that puts out 80 Newton meters of torque. The max range and top speed of the AGO X is pretty competitive with other bikes within the market. It has a max range of 62 miles and a top speed of 20 miles per hour using 5 pedal assist levels, which we'll be putting to the test momentarily, as well as a brake test with 180mm rotors, front and rear. Now last but not least, the battery. The battery powering the AGO X that gives you a top speed of 20 miles per hour and a max range of 62 miles is only a 36-volt 14 amp hour battery pack. That's a little battery packing a powerful punch. All right, so now that brief overview is out of the way, before we get into our speed test, brake test, and hill test, I want to talk to you guys about some of my pros and cons. These are going to be personal to me. They might be different to you as a rider, but these are things I look out for when I'm riding. Let's talk about my con, because I'm only having one con that I can come across on this bike in the 33 miles I've ridden it, and that would be the grips. I don't really like these grips. They make me feel like I'm at a local gym, work on the elliptical. It's like a hard foam. Not my style. I'm going to be putting on an ODI lock-on to make this bike more personal to me, more comfortable on the trails. That way I can get more aggressive on the trails and not feel like my hand's going to slip off. It might not be the same for you as a rider. Pros, man, I don't say this about many bikes, but this bike is probably one of my favorites to have in the lineup right now. The 29-inch wheels make me feel like I can go over anything, keep up a really high speed. I can ride no-handed no matter how slow or how fast I'm going. That's what's really awesome about this bike, is how stable it is. The width of the handlebars is definitely a big plus for me, because I fatigue probably after like 50 miles or so. The center of my back starts to get really tight, and with the width of the handlebars where they're at right now, you want your stance or your grip stance to be as wide as your shoulders to be as comfortable as possible, and that's what I'm at right now. I mean, this torque sensor is awesome. I have the bike off and it's riding like a traditional bike, no resistance. I really don't have any other bad things to say except for the grips. So overall, I'm pretty happy with how this thing handles on gravel terrain as well as asphalt. That's what this bike is made towards, an urban style bike. So that being said, let's get back on the trail right now and do a speed test and a brake test, and we'll hop back on the trail after that and get straight to the hill test. All right, so for the speed test, I'm going to be using bike GPS to match it up to the top speed of the bike. Right now I'm in pedal assist level 5. I'm going to be shifting through all the gears like I normally would to be able to get to that top speed. Let's see if we can hit 20 miles per hour or faster. Let's go. $18 miles per hour. There's that 20. Putting some of my own power in here right now. 23, 24, 25, 26, slam on the brakes in 3, 2, 1. Woo! That is some power. All right, so for the speed test, I traveled a total distance of 858 feet in 31 seconds with an average speed of 19.7 miles per hour and a max speed of 25.9 miles per hour. Now the speedometer said I reached 26 miles per hour, which is actually really close to what the bike GPS had, so I give it a thumbs up in that category. Now the braking, about 30 foot in total stopping distance, and when I slam on the brakes, I slam on the rear and feather the front to be able to come to a more controlled stop versus slamming on both because you don't want to go over the handlebars. So far, so good. Let's take it over to the hill to see what this thing's capable of. All right, so now we've reached the double switchback hill test, and I'm a bit biased when it comes to a torque sensor with a mid-drive motor versus a cadence sensor, and this thing has been such a breeze on the trail. Super comfortable for me being 6 foot tall on this large setup right here. So with that being said, this hill test should be a breeze as well. We're gonna do it in pedal assist level 5, and I'm gonna kind of switch through the gears, kind of see what gear best is suitable for each one of these hills. Let's get to it. All right, so as we talked about before, the motor has 80 Newton meters of torque, and I guess you're gonna get that max output out of the highest pedal assist level. I'm gonna put it in pedal assist level 5 and kind of just shift through all the gears. Right now we're in gear 3, 4, 5, and we're sitting at 14 miles per hour. I mean, this is smooth and comfortable where you can ride up this hill no-handed and still kind of feel the effort that you're putting into the torque sensor right now. It's definitely the way to go. I'm feeling a bit of resistance because I am pretty much at that middle grade when it comes to the gear setup. Coming up to the first turn now. Smooth take up. That's what I love about torque sensors and the mid-drive motor setups like this. There is no real like jolt to the power. Come up to the second one, 18 miles per hour. Let's downshift a little bit. Make this smooth, and you can ride this, or at least I can ride this uphill, no-handed, sitting at 10 miles per hour. Feeling good. I love it. Mid-drive motors are the way to go. I hope more brands definitely take after Tenways when it comes to making a mid-drive motor setup just like this. So in closing, the Tenways AGO X seems to have that premium ride without the premium price tag. I only had one problem, which was the grips, and I did about 50 miles on this bike and do not feel fatigued at all. This thing is definitely going to stay up in my lineup as my regular bike I'm going to be riding. With that being said, if you guys are interested in any other information about the Tenways AGO X or any other Tenways products, click the link in the description below. With that being said, if you guys like this video, drop a like. If you love it, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one.